Well, he talks about it stemming from Descartes, and that some of that split comes with the what's known as the Cartesian split, the body-mind split, and that when we split mind from matter, we begin to have, and it, like he says, it's done in the spirit of it being easier. We're just trying to make things, name things, separate stuff, kind of organize things, get a hold on it. Which is fine. It's just that we forget that they're arbitrary definitions. So the impulse to make those boxes is coming from just ease.
Okay.
And he thinks it comes out of the Cartesian split. I think it comes before that. I think it comes back Aristotle.
Okay.
So I think it comes with agriculture. I think that's where it starts.
Yeah.
But everybody's got a different view on that. Now I think it's practicality. We live in a world that actually demands that we do, and there's the expectations of your professional colleagues, the expectations of the clients, the expectations of the families, the expectations of commerce are that those boxes are what's real, and we have to deal with those boxes. What you have to give a diagnosis to even get state funding to help treat somebody. And so, there's the process is deeply ingrained in the way that we have to go about our business. And so I guess then what we're really talking about is how each of us as individuals is going to work with the relationship between these worlds. And that's what I do. It requires there's a line at the end of this film that says it's totally punk rock. It's actually kind of funny, but really it's not a joke. There's a kind of risk-taking and stepping outside of our cultural expectations that requires a tremendous amount of courage. It's a kind of courage we don't see very often, actually. And the reason is that it's easy to be misunderstood, it's easy to lose your job, it's easy to lose your clients. It's a huge risk to step aside from the patterns that we live inside of. I hear this a lot. And there's so many interconnections, and if I take them all, how can I possibly take everything into account? And I can't begin to address all of these issues. But at the same time, if we don't start to operate with a higher level of complexity, we are not going to be able. Right. Yes, you. There is that thing of. It's difficult for us to begin to possibly comprehend everything. But we can know that there's a lot to comprehend.
Sure.
And just that changes the aesthetic of the way we interact. It will change the overtones of our approach. And I think that's a huge shift right there. And it changes the tools that you use, I think. If you're talking about the practicality of what am I going to do with this patient? And I think that's sort of the beginning of, it's a beautiful question, and it's so important that we really work on this afternoon, because I think this is the question. And it's unlikely that there will be support for wider approaches from within any institution that you're working with. There might be lip service to it, but you're certainly not going to get this kind of cross-sector material support. It's not going to happen. So, I mean, we could have a big shift in the world, but right now, it's not really happening. And I mean, if you just look at the education system, we can see it there, among other places. So how do we begin to operate with a complexity that the systems around us aren't supporting us to operate with?